Good morning, DayBreak. My name is Wagenvoort, and I am the Interim Children's Ministry Coordinator here. Thank you so much for tuning in this Sunday morning, and I hope you're doing well. Me? Doing pretty good. Can't complain. But, you know what we can do? We can talk about some super cool Bible stories. Probably thought I was going to say good news, hey? None for this week either. But don't be bummed. There's always next week. So if you have any good news or things you want us to shout out in next week's videos, send it on over to office@daybreakairdrie.com. On to today's story. Today's story takes place in Matthew 21, verses 33 to 45, and is all about the parable of the tenants. Now, Jesus was teaching in the temple, and he told the religious leaders to listen to this story. Well, all right then. Join me to the whiteboard. The following is an OWL audio presentation. Hello everyone, OWL here. I will be providing the voice of today's story as Zach draws it out for us all. Now, a landowner bought some land. And on that land, he planted. And what exactly did he plant, you might ask? He planted a vineyard. A beautiful, lush vineyard. The landowner built a wall around that vineyard. After that, the landowner dug a pit, and he dug this pit so he could crush his grapes. The landowner also built for himself a tower to watch over the vineyard. The landowner decided he would rent this vineyard to some of the tenants. And for the landowner, he decided to leave the country. The time for harvest had finally come, and there were barrels and barrels just ready for the landowner to get. It must have been a great deal of money, too. the owner sent some of his servants to get his grapes. But the tenants grabbed the servants. They beat up one. They beat up one. They killed another. They threw stones at the third. So the owner sent more servants to the vineyard, but the tenants would attack them too. Finally, the owner decided that he would send his own son. And the reason he sent his son was because he imagined the tenants would respect him. Instead, the tenants threw the son out of the vineyard and they killed him. After this story, Jesus asked them this question. When the owner comes back to the vineyard, what do you think he would do to these tenants? The religious leaders answered, well, they deserve to die. Rent the vineyard to people who respect him. To which Jesus replied, do you know what the scriptures say? The stones that the builders tossed aside is now the cornerstone, and the important stone of all. God did this, and it is amazing to us. Then Jesus said, so I tell you, God's kingdom will be taken away from you and given to people who do what he commands. Anyone who trips over this stone will be broken to pieces, and this stone will crush anyone it falls on. When the religious leaders heard this and Jesus' story, they knew that Jesus was talking about them. Jesus told this story to teach the religious leaders about himself. God sent his own son, Jesus, to earth, but the religious leaders rejected him. And Jesus is now the cornerstone, the most important one of all. Only he can save us from our sin. Thank you for listening. And, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for 10:30 for this Sunday's service, brought to you by our wonderful Nancy. We hope to see you there. And as always, happy Sunday.